What's going on, guys? This is D-RAZ, and today I want to talk about the four main elements of a healthy diet. And when I talk about a healthy diet, I talk about a diet that will contribute to health and longevity goals, not just a diet that basically contributes to some, physique goals or good-looking physique or being cut or ripped or any of those physique or bodybuilding goals that we all like to look at, and everybody likes to look at good bodies. But at the same time, these are goals that will also contribute to health and longevity and maintaining the vital metrics of the body. In accordance with the latest anti-aging research that came out, showing different protocols and different techniques to actually increase the biological age of human beings and increase the probability of living a long and a happy life. Number one is maintaining sufficient caloric intake to serve physique goals. What I mean by that is, at the end of the day, when somebody's trying to achieve physique goals, they're either going to be trying to gain weight, maintain their weight, or lose weight. And based on their physique goals and how they want to look like in the future, a caloric intake plan will be implemented to see if they want to, for example, put themselves in an anabolic state and they want to gain weight, then they might increase their caloric intake beyond maintenance levels to the point where they get to achieving their physique goals. At the same time, if their goal is only to maintain their body weight, then they will fall into a caloric intake or an amount of calories where they're just going to be maintaining their body, and it's not going to be way above what they need to maintain. The same goes with weight loss or fat loss, in which people might be in some sort of a caloric deficit, so they can basically lose the amount of fat or the amount of weight, but of course preferably fat, because most people would be aiming to lose fat and not muscle when we talk about weight loss. Okay, so when we talk about weight loss, we're predominantly we're talking about fat loss. There's a very small percentage of people that would like to lose muscle, and this would be a specific case, but for most people it's fat loss, which is overall weight loss, but by targeting the fat and maintaining the maximum amount of muscle mass. Number two is maintaining specific macronutrients to further support these goals. And just like we talked about with the caloric intake, you can eat 3,000 calories, and those calories can have different macronutrient percentage distribution, meaning 40% out of those calories can come from protein, 40% from fat, and the rest is from carbs. Or it can be 60% from carbs, and the rest of the calories can be distributed among proteins and fats. Or it can be whatever macronutrient percentage or allocation that someone might be aiming to achieve, and this will all be based on their goals. And it's a misconception, or a lot of people think that everybody's trying to achieve physique or fitness goals only, but the reality is a lot of people are also looking to achieve, let's say, mental goals, like intellectual capacity and intellectual performance is also a goal for a lot of people. So if somebody is trying to optimize and maximize intellectual performance, then they're not just going to be focused on how their body looks, or they're not going to adjust their caloric and macronutrient distributions and allocations only for physique, but they're going to be eating and maintaining and allocating their macronutrients and caloric intake for the purpose of optimizing brain performance. And this is a whole different area. What type of diets can we eat to maintain and optimize optimal brain performance for somebody, for example, that might have a highly intellectual job, or they might be using their brain a lot in a specific job, like somebody like a programmer or some sort of a different intellectual job. is not gonna eat a diet that maximizes fitness or body goals at the expense of their brain's performance. So this is also one thing to take into consideration when we talk about macronutrients, is people distribute their macronutrients for all types of different goals, not just body goals, even for different types of goals in life. Some people might have specific disorders, some people might have specific accommodations, specific genetic disease that they might be eating to try to decrease the probability of getting, and that's how they plan their diet based on. Number 3 is reducing metabolic and oxidative stress on the body. And this is a very crucial point, and it goes back to longevity and health and maximizing lifespan. A lot of the anti-aging research and a lot of new studies are consistently showing that limiting the window of eating, or eating in a less amount of time, or taking the calories and the macronutrients that we talked about in step 1 and 2 in a way shorter amount of time, can actually lead to very much increase in lifespan and increase in health and biomarkers of the body that will eventually lead to a healthier body, less probability for a lot of disease, and a lot of other health benefits that one can reap from practicing what can be called as intermittent fasting, or limiting the window of eating in which somebody consumes those calories. So not only do we have the calories, and also we have the macronutrients that we can eat as a distribution of those calories, but we also have the window of eating, or the interval of time through which we can distribute taking in those calories across the day, or even multiple days. And some people do sometimes the 3-day fast, sometimes people do the 7-day fast, and then they go back to alternating that with the intermittent fasting protocols, like the 14 hours, the 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, and all these types of different protocols. And intermittent fasting and its protocols is a whole different video, but for the purposes of this video, we're only talking about reducing metabolic and oxidative stress in the body, which results from eating consistently across the day and snacking across the day, because the more we eat across the day, the more our body has to work, so it can take this food, process this food, digest it, release the nutrients, and get rid of the toxins. And this puts a lot of work on the organs of the body, and the body has to work super hard so it can actually go through this process. So the more we reduce this process, the more we reduce a huge amount of stress on the human body. Number 4 is maintaining healthy blood sugar levels and blood pressure levels. And these are two of the most important biomarkers and health markers that one has to watch for if you're aiming for health and longevity. And this interferes, sometimes with a lot of different diets and a lot of different protocols, specifically when it comes to bodybuilding, right? And when we talk about blood sugar levels and go back to the protocols of intermittent fasting and limiting the window of eating in a day to a specific amount of hours or a specific time frame through which we eat our calories, one of the main benefits of that is stabilizing the blood sugar levels in the human body. And this is very crucial, a very crucial part of longevity and decreasing the probability that one gets diabetes. And the way this happens is every time we eat, our body is going to secrete insulin, so it can basically stabilize our blood sugar levels. And the more we do that across intervals in a day, the more our pancreatic system is working so hard very often to keep releasing insulin so it can stabilize the blood sugar level. So every time we eat, the insulin levels in our body goes up and down and up and down, up and down, if we eat frequently and if we snack frequently. And one of the main benefits of limiting the window of eating is that we stabilize or we control our blood sugar levels, and we would have the spike in that meal that we eat a day, or in that interval of time where we consume our calories, but not outside of that window. And this has a lot of health benefits, but mainly stabilizing blood sugar levels and decreasing the stress on the pancreatic system, as well as decreasing the probability that somebody gets diabetes. And this comes into play for people that are predisposed to diabetes genetically, or have someone in their families that got diabetes. This will be very, very crucial in minimizing the risk that you get diabetes in the future. And the second point is blood pressure, which is one of the most important health metrics besides blood sugar levels. And one of the main ways we can do or we can utilize to reduce blood pressure is to be careful with our intake of sodium. So if we take so much sodium, there is of course a correlation between blood pressure levels and the amount of sodium that we eat. So watching over the sodium intake is one of the best tools that we can utilize to actually maintain good and healthy blood pressure levels. And this also comes into play for people that are predisposed to this disease, or have someone in their family that has high blood pressure. They can use these techniques from a young age, which is monitoring their blood pressure levels, as well as monitoring their intake of sodium in their diet, so they can maintain healthy blood pressure levels, and as a result maintain a healthy cardiovascular system. And of course, maintaining a healthy cardiovascular system is one of the most important things that one has to do in order to contribute to health and longevity and increased lifespan. So everything comes together in sort of a balance between keeping in mind the health and longevity metrics, as well as having as healthy and as good looking of a physique as someone can have, without sacrificing or while balancing these very crucial health metrics that one needs to keep an eye over for health and longevity. So I hope you guys benefited from this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also leave any questions if you have for me. And let's get healthy, let's get happy, and see you in the next video.